I'm Patrick Bailey with iQlist.com. Today is April 14th, 2022. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to fix an STL file in Fusion 360 so that it will render an openscad correctly. So I had a video recently where I took a plague doctor and split it in half so I could make a larger print. And I had to do that in Mesh Mixer, although ideally I'd like to do it in openscad because there I could more precisely set the pins and slice it exactly like I want, but I couldn't get it to work. Now someone mentioned using, I think it was Microsoft 3D Builder, I have to go look again, to go fix the print and have it work, and they got it to work for them or something similar. And I did a few tests, looked around, and it turns out it wasn't so much about the complexity of the STL file. In fact, it looks like openscad has no problem with the really most complex file. It just takes more time to render. But if the file's not perfect, if the file has some issue with the screen, and this gets really deep, I'd have to do a lot of research to understand it more myself. If the vertices are inverted, if different things, if it's got holes and gaps, basically if the 3D model's not perfect, openscad will barf on it. But I did find a way to repair it. Now there's many ways to repair it, like in Mesh Mixer and different things like that. And I tried to repair some models in Mesh Mixer. By no means, I'm no expert by any means in Mesh Mixer, but a few things I tried to fix didn't work out. I even used the Microsoft 3D Builder, I guess what it's called, and it didn't work out for me. So I tried to find something consistent that worked at least well enough, and I found out that Fusion 360 kind of worked on the models that I cared about. So I worked on this plague doctor, and I also worked on a dinosaur skeleton, skull, and it worked. But here's the problem. So the problem is here I am previewing this plague doctor, and he looks just fine. But the minute I go to, I can render him, actually, I can render him as is, and he works. But the minute I try to do anything funny with him, so if I do, well, let me remove the difference here. So I'm going to put a cube here, and I'm going to, cut that information out. So I'll do a difference. I'm going to cut him a little bit here. And on the preview, even on the preview, it kind of messes it up. Although I've had, sometimes when I've cut things on the preview, it looks fine. Even here, it looks kind of a little wonky. But the minute I try to render it, it's going to be a no-go. So it'll take a minute while it tries to do it here, but eventually it'll come back and say, no, I can't do it. So I found a way to bring that file into Fusion 360 and repair it. Let's let this fail here, and then we'll go show it. There you go. The given mesh is not closed, unable to convert. So with that, let me minimize this, and we'll go into Fusion 360. And so I'll go here, solid, and I'll select insert a mesh, and I'll go choose that plague doctor. And we'll let them come in here. There we go. Oh, we got to hit OK. And then I can select them and then go over to here to mesh and hit repair. Click that repair button. And now you can go watch some videos and go find out more details about all this, but I found a way that consistently worked. You can, there's different options like closing holes and stitching, but what I found that worked consistently was just to do a full rebuild. Do a full rebuild, go accurate, and then max out the density, which I take to mean I get to keep more details. But what I did find out is it doesn't fix it where I get an exact model. It seems to smooth things out a little bit, so I seem to lose a little bit of my detail and fidelity, but I think it might be okay for my purposes. So hit OK. This goes, in my case, relatively quickly. I got a recent laptop I just bought last year, so I have a pretty fast machine. And it'll take, just a minute here or so to rebuild the entire thing. And then once it's rebuilt, I can save the new fixed STL file and use it. And we're almost there. There you go. So not bad. Didn't take too awful long. Am I done? Almost done. Almost done. Still thinking. But okay, there we go. Done. So now that I'm done, I can go right-click on him and say Save as a Mesh. And I can save as a 3MF, STL, whatever, and hit OK and save it, which I've already done, and so I'll show the results there. So now that I've saved it, I have another similar openscad file. I'm just being a little more efficient here. I just renamed it. Here's the fixed version, And so you can see it is cutting that piece off. But now if I render it, it will actually render without it. Now I'm going to minimize this a little bit because it takes 2 or 3 minutes on my machine. I'm also working with a skull. So I'm going to go show the skull I fixed. Because of the nature of openscad, it doesn't maximize all my CPUs, so I can run both of these at the same time and save myself overall time. Okay, so if okay. Kind of hard to preview it, but trust me, I'm cutting it. So I'll just do a render, and we'll let them both go. And there we go. So at least with the Plague Doctor, so there he is. We can see him. He's beautiful. He's all sliced and diced, and I can save the STL file off, which I've already done it before. So we'll show that in here in a second. And then we'll wait on the dinosaur here. Come on. But also, hopefully, while I've done this, I've also probably put a timer just to kind of show what the realistic time is on rendering this. And looking at the side of my screen, it's probably only 4 or 5 minutes, but the timer will tell the truth here. And there we go. Okay, so we got that one done, and we can see it's all cut and sliced. And I can save the STL file out too, which I've already done. And just to show the last bit of stuff that I'm happy about and also concerned about, if I go open up a slicer here, so I've already put a couple on here, and I printed them out, and they look good for their size. I was trying to see the detail, so I probably need to do a better video, but you can kind of see a little bit what's going on there. I'll probably do a follow-up video trying to do some experimentation to see how the details are, but it did exactly what I wanted. Now what I'll do here is I'll drag in the original. So if I say I'll drag in the Plague Doctor, oh, wrong one, drag in Plague Doctor, drag in the Plague Doctor, and drag in the T-Rex skull, boom, oh, not that one. T-Rex skull, that's the one I want. Boom. Okay, now they're different sizes, so I'll resize them here. Let's see, I think that's 50, 50, and that's 150, and that's 150. And this is where I probably need to do a whole video on this to see how good the results are. Because if you look at here, here's the original, which looks like it has really nice clean lines. This one, it looks like it's lost some of the fidelity. However, does that matter when we're 3D printing it? Because we're going to lose some of that fidelity anyway with how I'm doing things. I don't know. So I need to go do a bigger print and look at some tests to see how bad that is. I mean, I fixed it, but did I ruin it in the process? And if I go over here and look at the dinosaur skull here, in the original, I can see all these lines right here in the teeth. And over here, I've lost them. Now, is that going to be a big deal? At this smaller size, probably not. But my plan is I want to print them big, and is that going to mean I'm going to lose fidelity? So I won't show it off right now, but I do have a giant T-Rex skull that I printed last year, which I meant to do a video on and haven't yet, where it was all sliced and diced by someone else, and I changed it a little bit to work better with my printer, but I need to go re-slice and dice it in a way that makes it better for what I'm doing. But I'm afraid that if I have a giant print, I'll lose fidelity. So I need to go, I can slice and dice like this and it works, but you can see I've lost some stuff, or at least appears to be in my case. So I might have won the battle and lost the war. So I don't know. I need to go do a few more tests on it, see what the real result is for a bigger size. Did I really lose it, or is it okay? And also, if anyone's out there who knows a better way to do this consistently, where I don't lose the detail, I would like to hear from you and see if you have any notes. I've looked around, I've searched some things, but nothing seems to work with me so far. But I need to do some more research. So with that, hey, so that's That's one way you can fix things in Fusion 360 if you have these broken models, and then they work in openscad. Every time I've tried it so far, it's worked. So, but I've lost the fidelity. Is it a big deal? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, with that, let's wrap this up with a reminder. 3D printing is an engineering adventure that you're on. You can develop your skills and knowledge and take this in so many ways. You can make a business out of this. You can teach others. You can make some amazing designs. So design it, engineer it. I'm working on some neat picture mat ideas right now. I already put out a neat dinosaur one that's on printables right now. I keep trying to find some good effective 3D printing ideas that are good for crafters. Right now, 3D printing is dominated by men, as is shown by my YouTube stats. But crafting has the opposite. It's dominated by women. And I think they would be keen on 3D printing if they saw how it could help them craft better. I hope to make a few more examples before the conference to catch the crafter's imagination.